Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Korea Open, part of the Super Series on the GAC Group 2015 ITTF World Tour. We're coming into the men's singles quarterfinals, the last one of the night. I'm Adam Bobrow, but more importantly on screen, Kim Donghyun in orange and JOO Saehyuk, who looks like he just got a nice haircut, in the dark blue in the back, both playing for the Korean national team. JOO Saehyuk, world rank number 15 and 35 years old, a thrilling player to watch, currently playing in the Chinese Super League, which is quite an honor to be playing in. Not a lot of foreign players invited to play, but at his level, not only is it a spectator's delight, it's good practice for the top Chinese players to be playing such a strong defender. And there he is, the legend, JOO Saehyuk. And Kim Donghyun, world rank number 50 versus world rank number 15. Our officials for the match. JOO Saehyuk, a very humble man, very friendly. Father of two, he's got a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. Retired when he was diagnosed with a disease that is said to thin the blood and tire out players. Very difficult to be a professional athlete. I guess not just players, but anyone who gets that disease. And there's Yoonam Kyu, looking sharp in a suit. And a personally tailored shirt, I assume. 1988 Olympic gold medalist, national hero, right in Seoul, Korea, not too far from here. A legend of the sport. One of my favorite points in the history of table tennis was played from that left-handed pen holder right there. When he talks, people listen. Soak up his wisdom. A man of a lot of table tennis experience and knowledge. And the very first gold medal, Olympic gold medal for men's singles. That's an event that's been dominated by the Chinese since the inception of table tennis, the introduction of table tennis to the Olympics in 1988. But Yoonam Kyu, if you meet anybody from Korea, born and raised in Korea, unless they're really young, you can drop the name Yoonam Kyu and they know who it is. If you don't speak Korean and your friends don't speak Korean, they'll think you do. You can just list Yoonam Kyu, say Yoo Sung-min, and maybe someday Kim Donghyun. He's been playing well throughout the year, competing again in the race to Lisbon, fighting for a chance to make it into the World Tour Grand Finals. And this man, JOO Saehyuk, who knows how long we have in his career. At 35 years old, you can't imagine he'll be playing too many more years, but for the sake of everyone who loves the sport, we hope he's in it for as long as he can possibly be. Cho An-na, our head umpire from Korea. And our assistant umpire, Jung Young-baek, also from Korea. There will be no favoritism here, at least none based on nationality, as everybody's Korean. So Kim Donghyun dropped a little bit in the world rankings, was 39 in the world. You're probably getting more and more familiar with this game. There's probably a lot to talk about in terms of JOO Saehyuk as far as his attack. There's Cho Eun-rae in the front in the blue jacket. Haven't seen him internationally quite as much. Fans going through pictures, don't swipe right, unless that's her phone, then it's no problem. That guy looks a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it's his phone. I've got a leopard print case, he can too. JOO Saehyuk, one of the most aggressive defenders, arguably the most aggressive defender in the world, which is one of the big factors as to why he's the #1 defender in the world. In 2003, played the World Championships. Not so common to see a defender in the World Championship finals. Lost to Werner Schlager of Austria. But JOO Saehyuk's put up a good fight throughout, came back after taking some time off, retiring after his blood-thinning disease, but has been playing quite well in the past few weeks. Despite missing that shot, has actually been playing quite well since the Tokyo World Championships in 2014. Seen a lot of impressive play out of JOO. Fast feet on Kim's side. Could hear him shuffling around to get the forehand in on the backhand corner. JOO not hesitating to get the forehand attack into play early on. Just a question of actually getting it in. Huge shot inside out, wide angle. Impressive play from Kim. Again, huge shot, just rocks back, gets full extension, legs, waist, arm, everything into that shot. First point for Saehyuk this game. At the first towel break, it was the forehand on the forehand side of the table that was trouble for Kim Donghyun. Neither player has a coach as they're from the same national association, so they will not be coached during this match.
6-1.
Saehyuk using the pips side of the racket, the long pips, to try and hit it out wide. Element of surprise. Try and catch Kim Donghyun stepping around the backhand corner out of position.
1-7.
Now usually it's the attacker who has to adjust to the defender's game. Right now, Saehyuk still trying to settle in.
2-7.
Saehyuk quick to say side of the table. Umpires thought the opposite. It was tough to tell from here. Saehyuk said side, side. Sportsmanship.
That 1-8.
Huge forehand again, this time cross court out to the forehand side. Kim Donghyun showing a very impressive, aggressive forehand attack against deep chops. Counterattack, still trouble right now for Saehyuk. Not managed to figure out the timing on this ball against Kim Donghyun right now. 9 game points for Kim. And an 11-1 game. Hope to see a closer one for game 2. We'll see how JOO adjusts. Just after this, stay with us for game 2. And we're back for game 2 after an 11-1 victory for Kim Donghyun in game 1. Saehyuk very focused in game 2. Changes the placement a bit, playing the middle of the table for the first few shots of the rally, then breaking it into the backhand side. Sometimes playing different places on the table changes the confidence of the attack for the attacker. And right now, Kim Donghyun is too comfortable with the wide shots, stepping around the backhand and even wide on the forehand side. He's demonstrated confidence. Inside out ball wide behind Kim Donghyun. Saehyuk looking much more alive in game 2 already. It's a reverse pendulum serve. And it looks like he's going down the forehand side, lets the hand drag. Ripping backhand. Sounded like he twiddled and got the inverted there for the attack with topspin. Tough to tell. We'll have to see that one in slow-mo. Otherwise, from that far from the net, it's a very risky shot with the long pips.
3-2.
Break off the top of the net, comes back off the top of the net and out, but they're tied up at 3 points each. Joo Se-hyuk already scored 3 times what he scored in game 1. This is one of the things that's made Joo Se-hyuk's chops so powerful over the years. Even when he's barely reaching it, he's able to float it back low to the net. Experience, lots of practice. Again, 35 years old and in as good of shape as anybody. You've seen his legs out there. Strong power from Kim. Even the middle of danger zone right now. Joo Se-hyuk doesn't keep it low and deep at the baseline. It's the right idea from Joo Se-hyuk. Play to the body and the counterattack. He just hasn't been connecting with that shot enough yet. So strong, full commitment from Kim Donghyun. Wider and wider. Pretty rare to see someone attacking a chop that wide from the backhand. The net appears very high to the ball at that point on the table. Combination play, attacking forehand and backhand from Joo Se-hyuk. That is some strong plays the Korean teammates watch. Fast long serve punished by Joo Se-hyuk, just waiting for it. Turns the corner and spanks it back. 1 point game, Joo right in this now. Backhand over the top receive. Little topspin over the table. With the long pips at that, very difficult to control. Smart play.
7-8.
Kim anticipates it to the body or backhand side. Joo goes wide to the forehand again. One more serve to tie it up in game 2. Beautiful shot down the line, right to the short side of the table to take the point. Third ball attack, step around just like an aggressive attacker from both sides. Joo Se-hyuk, very fast footwork and a huge stroke to recover from that shot if the ball comes back. Takes very fast feet. Deep on the table and low, that's the trick for Joo Se-hyuk with his chops. It's the only way really to shut down that huge forehand attack from Kim Donghyun. Recovery shot, and then it comes back high, and Joo Se-hyuk's right back in to put it away. It almost looked like he had let go of the racket to touch the ball. Right on the line in the corner, and then suddenly back at the opposite end of the table for the forehand finishing shot. 2 game points for Joo Se-hyuk. Break off the top of the net and 2 bounces. Joo Se-hyuk ties it up at 1 game each. A comeback after an 11-1 loss. If you ever feel unconfident after losing 11-1, just be reminded, see what can happen here. Game 3, tied up at 1 each after this.
game, Saehyuk to serve, love all.
Thrilling point right at the back of the table. The ball comes long, counterattacks. Yunam Q even applauding that. Understandably so, outstanding counter rally. This time overdoes it, going for that big forehand shot from the backhand corner. Really hits that ball like there's no tomorrow. The advantage of being a 20-year-old. Body can take it a little bit more. Despite losing that point right after making the comment about the 20-year-old body, JOO Saehyuk has a 20-year-old body, it appears. Taking just as big a strokes, really an outstanding form out there. Heavy spin deep on the table, clips the net and goes out. Dead even in game 3. Step around, paints the line. Really specific placement here. But again, it's the fast feet of JOO Saehyuk. As soon as Kim turns the corner, he's out of position. Way in the backhand side, JOO Saehyuk's already made his move, anticipating the spin shot and counters it down the line. Good thing we just talked about it, because JOO Saehyuk, perfect demonstration again. Kids and moms alike. Everybody a fan of the JOO Saehyuk game. It's a good opportunity for the wide cross-court shot. So far, JOO Saehyuk's been a bit higher percentage with his shots from the backhand corner using the forehand. See how much side spin came back on that ball, just clipping the net and out. Strong power deep on the table. Kim ties it up at 4 points each. Really having to work harder now than in game 1 to earn that shot. He was finding it quick in the rally in game 1. JOO Saehyuk managed to change the length and precision of his serve. And that shot right there, JOO Saehyuk's gonna make, I'd say 80% of the time or more. Unfortunate, unforced error there, I'd say, from JOO Saehyuk. Recovery shot from down near the ground. Unless you can hit that around the net, it's going to be really tough to win a point. Around the net and low for 2 bounces on the table. Still an impressive effort from JOO to get it down near the ground. JOO Saehyuk comes rushing back in, blitzes the table for the forehand attack, followed by another. Like a bull, as soon as he decides he wants to come in and attack, there's no hesitation. If only it could be so easy in life, just decide and go do it. Heavy chops off the inverted rubber on the forehand side. Deeper and deeper on the table. It's tied up at 6 each at the second towel break. Over the table flip attempt from Kim Donghyun does not land, and JOO takes the lead. Break off the net for 2 bounces. Not just a sorry, so sorry, said JOO Saehyuk. Some empathy, genuine apology from JOO Saehyuk. Ball comes up a little high, a little long. Now Kim Donghyun had his chance to practice matches anyway. Played Yuto Muramatsu, winning 4-0, taking down the Japanese chopper, one of the top 3 choppers in the world. With Gionis and JOO Saehyuk, the man you're watching, receive this serve. Big point to pull ahead. 2 serves now to possibly take a 2-1 lead after losing game 1 11-1.
Net 9-7.
Goes for down the middle of the table, finds the net. Big point for Kim. Breaks the serve. If he can do it once more, he's going to have 2 serves at 9-9. JOO normally comes in just a little bit closer to the table for that counterattack shot. Catches the ball a little earlier, a little higher before it's dipped. And that one had a bow on top and everything, up high near the net. I guess I've seen points that, well, shots that look even more hittable, but for JOO Saehyuk, he's going to take that again 90% of the time. So Kim keeping some spin on it right near the net, now has 2 serves and a chance to take game 3. Break off the top of the net and a quick apology from Kim, but it's game point. 3 in a row for Kim Donghyun. Big exhale from Kim. Little conversation from the head umpire. Maybe there's some wet marks on the table, some sweat. And indeed there is. Kim Donghyun requesting to have the table wiped down. Quite common when sweat's flying this much. Occasionally a player will wipe down the table. But in general, they're going to get the assistant umpire to do it. Spin shot after recovering from way out wide on the forehand side. JOO Saehyuk, just amazing reaction time to get back in for that shot. Top of the net and spins it. Not a lot of forward motion, plays it a little safer, but loads it with spin to get it up and over and keeping it dipping down on the table. Element of surprise, shows like he's going deep to the backhand, comes around the ball and hits it out wide to the forehand. Another game point for Kim Donghyun. Again, hides where he's going very well. No telegraphing with that receive. Counterattack, a little shallower on the table. Kim looking down at his equipment. A little bit curious as to why the ball didn't seem to come up as much as he thought it would. Ball a little bit more shallow on the table, still low. Tough to lift a ball when it's out in front of you. Tough to lift anything when it's out in front of you. Try lifting a chair 3 feet away from your body instead of right next to your body. Or don't. Kim now against game point. Big shot to the short side of the table for a third deuce point and a fourth towel break this game. Imagine both players will be using the towel after the sweat's been flying. Biggest fan right there. Oh, there are two of them. There's one in her hand. Oh, she's covering her face. So shy. So shy. Hand in the air, I think Saehyuk was saying that the point was already over, but still an incredible effort to come back in for that ball. See if we can see it in slow motion. Outstanding touch shot. Not really sure why he had his hand up. Be sure to ask him later, very curious. Another game point for Kim Donghyun. Saehyuk saying, good shot, no problem. 13 all. Very curious as to the conversation here. If you move the table, gets it clean, no problem. Popped up a little bit high, punch with the backhand, finish, no problem. Body hit the table. Don't believe there's any rule about the top of the body hitting the table. I'm sure I'll hear about it shortly if there is. Fourth deuce point, and what a point from Saehyuk now with the serve. Strong play from Kim Donghyun, blocking several shots. Countering, managing to move wide to the forehand to get it back. Plays it a little more into the middle of the table there. Takes away the forehand counter from Saehyuk. Top of the net and just missing the table. We are at 14 all. It's only game 3. Smiling to be watching this match right now. Deceptive spin. Contacts the side of the ball just under before lifting up. Makes it look like topspin, but it's not topspin at all. Counterattack does it, and Saehyuk at 16-14 takes game 3 for a 2-1 lead, and what a game it was. Only heating up. Stick around. Game 4 getting warm just after this.
First game, Kim Donghyun to serve.
And we're back for game 4. Kim Donghyun to start off with the serve, down 1-2 in games. The grunt pays off, puts in the effort. Strong spinny shot comes in low at the knees in the middle. First point to Kim. And you could hear the Saehyuk taken a little bit late. Despite having some trouble countering that ball to the middle, he's managed to come back and win the last 2 games after losing game 1 11-1. A little bit more shallow on the table, high and over the middle. Not especially high, but still shallow enough that Kim had to reach out in front to make that shot and was not able to do it. Could be a marathon match. Deuce in the 7th. Touch shot a little bit too low. As soon as Kim shows the open face of the racket that it's coming back as a touch shot over the table, JOO starts making his run right back in. Saving the risk of a double bounce shot and also there for the attack opportunity. Short side of the table on the follow-up attack. JOO Saehyuk putting it away, tied up at 3 points each in the 4th game. First attack strong, second attack better placed and equally strong. Top of the net and out. JOO takes the lead at 4-3. Have to wonder how distracting it is for the players coming into the table, kicking the under part of the table. Touch shot off the bounce, but JOO Saehyuk managing to prevail again. Right into the body. Recovery there. Heavy shot deep in the backhand court. Again, the decisions are made in a heartbeat out here. The moment you see someone show, you make your move. Forehand, backhand, come in, attack, defense, whatever it may be, they have to make the decisions at lightning speed. Top of the net, rally continues and JOO Saehyuk makes his way back into the table. It's also interesting for the choppers out there to notice how quickly JOO Saehyuk makes his way right back into the table when he knows he's hit a very good chop. Load. Over the table, forehand flip from Kim. Takes the point outright. Not a lot of motion there on that flip. JOO Saehyuk recovering. The ball was left up on the short forehand side. Still managed to get back for it. Not too common. We see a slow shot miscontacted by that much. Bottom of the net for JOO Saehyuk. That's probably why we heard the verbal frustration. Seems like more sweat on the table. Umpire is talking to each other. Assistant umpire coming to clean it up. Again, a drop of sweat might seem insignificant, but a ball bounces. If a ball bounces in that sweat, picks up the moisture, could completely change the outcome of the point. That last shot was just too strong, and even at a bird's eye view, you can see, really gives you a chance at home. Nice to see this, how much side to side is going on. And when JOO Se-hyuk keeps the ball deep on the table, how limited the options are for Kim Donghyun. This is why chops need to stay deep on the table, and even lobs deep on the table and kicking away from the net. Beautiful counter, crushing it out wide to the forehand side. JOO Se-hyuk extending his lead. And there it is, Kim Tak-soo in a suit as well. Legends of Korean table tennis here watching, still involved with the program, contributing. Kim Tak-soo watching JOO Se-hyuk.
8-7.
Forehand attack, big forehand attack. It takes a while to recover, but JOO Se-hyuk still gets a spinny second forehand attack into play and wins the point. Kim Donghyun slipping in the forehand side. Comes back up to take the backhand attack shot, and it's 3 game points now for JOO. A little bit out of position, reaching for that shot. 11-7, JOO Se-hyuk, 3 games in a row to go up 3-1. We'll see if he finishes it off 4-1 or if Kim makes it more like game 1 in game 5 just after this. Stay here.
Fifth game, JOO Se-hyuk 2-0, love all.
And we're back for game 5. JOO Se-hyuk with the serve. Short side of the table, exploited right there by Kim. And in the last bird's eye view shot we had, he had a similar shot down the line with so much power. Heavy spin, a little shallower on the table. Kim Donghyun having to reach out and over. Inside out forehand, JOO Se-hyuk fully commits and the ball exits the side of the table. Kim Donghyun now serving a 1-2. Timeout is called. Kim Donghyun's going to try and regather his thoughts, get his confidence back.
Timeout.
Played with incredible confidence in game 1. Again, 11 points to 1, absolute domination. And then after that, JOO Se-hyuk turned around 11-8, 16-14, and 11-7. Kim Donghyun's gonna have to figure out a way to get the ball up just a little bit, staying at the table, get the forehand on the short side of the table, earn himself the step around ball on the backhand corner. Although I think JOO Se-hyuk's been anticipating that well and getting back a much higher percentage of those shots. Definitely a higher percentage than in the first game.
3-1.
Coach on in the back there. There's the step around. managed to get his game into play right out of the timeout. Short side of the table. And the counterattack, I guess, just missed the table. Short side of the table looks attractive when it's open, but it's short for a reason. It's tougher to hit a smaller target. When the ball's loaded with spin, Kim's gonna have some trouble making that shot.
5-3.
Top of the net and out. It's a 5-3 lead for JOO Saehyuk. No timeouts left for Kim Donghyun. Inside out shot anticipated well and blocked back to the open forehand side. JOO still got a racket on it. Just catching the edge of the blade. Back in and out. Kim Donghyun moving the defender in and out is a common strategy, very effective at the early stages for sure, but also important here. Deep on the table, then a touch shot up over the table. Get them running in and then hit it hard while they're still in at the table and there's not as much spin on the ball. Just missing long on the back forehand side. Kim making his move takes the lead back, 3 in a row for Kim Donghyun. Difficult block shot. JOO Saehyuk trying to cover the ball and smother it with the long pip side on the backhand. So despite the first few points going to JOO Saehyuk after the timeout, the game has definitely turned around for Kim Donghyun. Short side of the table counterattack. He's got a little extra speed, ball coming into the racket with topspin. Faster pace, he doesn't need to lift like he has against the other chops that JOO Saehyuk's hit. And what a run from Kim Donghyun. 2 points away from sending this on to another game, a 6th game. Kim Donghyun has to win this game. And now he's got 5 game points to send it to a 6th. Top of the net and it stays on JOO Saehyuk's side, 11-5. Very effective timeout for Kim Donghyun. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going in game 6 just after this break. And we're back for game 6, JOO Saehyuk versus Kim Donghyun in the last men's singles quarterfinals of the night. JOO Saehyuk being watched by fellow teammate Kim Tak-soo. A little bit of overlap in their career. Outstanding point from JOO Saehyuk down at the ground, hooking it back on the table, giving it a JOO Saehyuk. Down low, kicking, wide to the backhand, and look at that shot there. Full arm, really able to come over and around that ball. Almost back in it. Kim Donghyun managing to make that point last longer than it looked like it would have for a good 4 or 5 shots. The backhand swatting attack with the long pips from JOO Saehyuk comes back high. Again, it's awesome watching the defender, or the attacker rather, become the defender. Several blocks in a row, exhausting the forehand. JOO Saehyuk moving to run around and get quality forehand shots. The placement of those blocks, crucial from Kim Donghyun. Ball left high, but again with long pips, it's very difficult to attack and control the ball. Using your opponent's topspin, floating it back, slow shots, that's what they're made for. Spin reversal as opposed to controlling it yourself with an attack shot. Down near the ground, still almost gets it back. But Kim fighting. Takes the lead at 3 points to 2, despite being down 2-3 in games. Lots of spin left on that ball. JOO Saehyuk touches it and it just climbs up and out. First towel break, JOO Saehyuk is down 2-4. Feel like we're watching different generations of table tennis players from the Korean team right now. As a sign of respect, and there's a great respect for your elders in the Korean culture. Kim Donghyun is fighting as hard as he can.
2-5.
Still early to tell, but this could go 7. Inside out, and it catches the microphone on the net clamp. As far as 7 gamers go, JOO Saehyuk, a little more experience this tournament, had a 7-game match against Stefan Mengel.
5-4.
For those of you tuning in for the broadcast from the very start of the day, you'd be able to catch match point. JOO Saehyuk blocking the huge step around forehand attack from Stefan Mengel. Fighting hard right now, really putting every ounce of energy, every breath he has into this. See, he's building up a lot of tension. Has to yell just to release some of that energy. Much like being on a roller coaster, you don't trap the bad air inside, you let it out. Heavy topspin into the forehand, and JOO Saehyuk trying to play the short side of the table a little bit more to the middle. A risky shot against so much topspin. And JOO had his tongue out for a moment, seemed like he wasn't happy with his shot selection there, the decision he made. Soft touch from Kim Donghyun leaves it on the short side of the table to the forehand. JOO a little late to get there, hits the edge of the racket and out. Fighting, they say. The cheer from the Korean fans in the crowd.
9-4.
Kim is 2 points away from sending this to a 7th and deciding game.
4-10.
Inside out just long. We saw JOO recover from an 11-1 loss. A little bit of a half effort there on the spinny ball to the forehand side, trying to close it out. But we are moving on to a 7th and deciding game of JOO.